Yes, sir.
So up to what extent like you can make the programs in C language? Can you write a program for addition of two numbers?
Yes, sir.
Okay, easily. So what other things you know in C language there?
Sir, I just know basic things about C programming, not advanced level. Like I know looping.
Okay,
Yeah, just like you said, addition of two numbers, multiplication of two numbers.
fine. And
Yeah, but
you must have working on like if and else statements are there and switches are there, right?
but sir, I just want to start from very basic point. अगर मुझे पता भी है, then also I have to start from very basic point.
Okay, 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 fine.
Yeah.
Uh, so,
I just
so
want you to explain each and everything starting from A letter. I hope you
fine,
understand.
definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So, Acha, the last question is like which book you have preferred for C language?
So let us see.
Let us see. Yeah, that is the best book for the beginners if you are starting from zero. So let us see is the best book. So I have
Oh,
not prepared any PPT like because you already know what is C and how it is started. Like okay, I'm not starting from that much of basic. What is the history of C language? Fine. We
okay.
will be working on the programming concepts only. And but before starting the programming, let's discuss about some history of C language. You know who started C?
Who started C language?
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. What about if you are working on C language? What about before C? Is there any language or directly we have only C language? Like before C, what was there?
so some languages were there, I guess, before C.
Yeah, like which languages? Any idea about?
So I guess I'm not actually aware of the
Okay.
language before
Okay, fine.
C.
So I'm presenting you that letter C only, right? And
Okay.
we will be discussing the first chapter of letter C today. That is, what is the history of C? What are the different types of data types are available? How to write the first program in C language? So I'm sharing you this thing,
PPT, right?
not the PPT. It is
Yes, C. Yeah.
okay. Now, can you see this letter
So
C? Is it
no, no,
no,
sir.
no, no? Just. What about now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now I can see.
Okay, so this is the first chapter of the Let Us See book that is written by Yashwant Kanitkar, and
Yes.
today we are discussing from this book only. And from yesterday, tomorrow I will prepare some PPT for you. Okay,
No.
and this is the first chapter. Actually, it is about the history of C language. So, like in the first line, you can see C is a programming language developed at AT&T Bell's laboratory of USA in 1972. See, this is the language which comes into the picture at 1972, right?
Yes, sir.
And before, if we talk about like what is before that 1972, so there were some languages actually, but there were some drawback of the languages before that C language. Like we are having a language called Algol, okay, and this is the language that was used before 1972, before C language. But there was some drawback of this Algol language, so like usually we prefer C language. So there are some advantages of using C. And Fortran language was there, PLI language was there, that is Pascal. And like recently, if you talk about today's, like C is still a very useful language, but there are some modified versions of C, like the better version of C are there, like C plus plus is there, then C sharp is there, then Java is there. But like every each and every language is having some advantages and some disadvantages, right? If we are learning about some new language, it means there is something missing in the previous language. That's why we are having a new language. Like in nowadays, if you know about which language is highly used nowadays, do you have any idea about this?
C language only, no?
No, C language only. Nowadays, the most
Yeah. So
preferable
breaking
language is
C
Python.
within C.
C is there, no doubt. C is there, but nowadays most preferable language is Python language.
Okay, okay.
But if you want to learn Python or maybe the latest languages, you should have a basic concept very clear. Like C is the most basic language that everyone should know about. If you want to learn C++, you should have the idea about C. Without C, you will not be able to learn C++ or Java. Like maybe you can learn, but C is the most basic one, right?
Yes, sir.
So there are some points are given. What is the difference between C and C++? Why Java is there? That we will discuss when we will learn about the next language. We are not discussing about what are the differences. And so getting started with C. Yeah, if you want to learn C, if you can see this figure 1.1, but it is showing this. If you want to learn any language, like suppose English language, fine. If you want to learn English language, so what are the basic steps? Initially, you have to learn about the alphabets. Okay, like if you want to learn any maybe like English language, first you should know about the alphabets of the English language, like A, what is B character, what is B alphabet, what is C alphabet, and after combining these alphabets, you can form a words. ऐसा ही होता है generally, right?
Yes, sir.
So first, initially you have to learn about the alphabets. After that, joining the alphabets, you can form the words. With the help of the words, you can make the sentences. And after you learn about how to make a sentence, then you can write a paragraph. This is about English language. Same with the Hindi language as well. If you are learning about a Punjabi language, that is also having the same thing, right? The same we are having in C language as well. First, we have to learn about what are the alphabets, what are the digits, what are the special symbols that are available for C language. We will be using these alphabets, digits, special symbols to form the constants, variables, keywords. And with the help of these, we will be learning how to write the instructions, how to write the programs. We will be like writing the program with the help of the instructions. Okay, so one by one, first we will discuss about what are the alphabets in C language, what are the digits, what are the special symbols available, right? And once we know about these, the first step in C language, then we will jump to the second step, that is how to write the variables, what are the keywords available, how to form a constant. And with the help of these, we will be having a small instructions in C language. Then if you combine the instructions, that will be a complete C program. The instructions are nothing but a command that you will give to your compiler, to your computer to execute the program. So instruction is a command only, right? So any doubt in this figure?
No, sir.
Okay, so this is very easy. Yeah. So the next is the C character set. C character set, like in English character set, we are having only the alphabets. Okay, but in C character set, we are having the alphabets, we are having the digits, and we are having the special symbols. We are having alphabets, like we can have a small letter alphabet, we can have a capital letter alphabet. Digits are available from 0 to 9, we can combine the digits. Similarly, we are having some special symbols, like these are the special symbols available in your keyboard as well. Now, when you write any program, like if you talk about the addition of two numbers, so let me write a program here. So this is, have you installed this software?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So just simply, if you open this software, like I'm writing a program for you, you just simply check it. So for writing a program in C language, we will be starting with
#include stdio.h.
Yeah. So you know what is this #include stdio.h?
Standard input output header
Standard
file.
header file. So why we use this header file?
We use this header file in order to include the whole program in this. Whether I know that the main program starts from the main function, but this is just to like include the program. Header file is just to include the whole program.
Okay. And what about other header files? Like this is standard input output .h. Do you know any other header file as well? That we
Math.h, mathematical files
very
like.
nice and fine. Okay, fine. So there is another header file that math.h. If you are like working on mathematical functions,
Yes,
mathematical
sir.
functions like logarithmic functions are there, sine, cos, and if you are using these functions, then you have to use math.h. There is
Yes, sir.
another header file conio.h, right?
One year.
Conio.h is basically console input output, fine. And the next line, if you write a main function, what is a main function basically?
Main function, actually the program execution starts from the main function.
Okay,
Compiler will just run the program from starting from the main function.
right. So like we can write main. After that, there will be these braces, then curly brackets we will write, and inside these curly brackets you have to write your program.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any idea about before main function? Should we write something or it is okay? Before
Before,
main,
no, in this program we don't have to write anything before
we
main
don't have
function.
to write. Okay, fine. So now if you want to just simply add two integer values, so first you have to declare the values. So this is the declaration. A is equals to maybe like some integer number you can put here. The second variable is B is equals to maybe like suppose 7. So these are the two integer numbers which you want to add. Okay. The
Yes.
declaration we can have in the same line as well. You can declare like this way, comma and B is equals to 7. You can put a semicolon here. Why this semicolon basically? You know what is this?
I don't know the reason actually.
Okay. So in C language, every line instruction, you can say every instruction must end with a semicolon.
Reason?
Reason is actually this is defined. If you don't put this semicolon, this program will give you some error.
Okay.
Okay, and the reason is there. I will tell you the reason as well why we are using this semicolon, why not other symbol, why this is how it is defined basically, how this compiler knows that semicolon is the end of the line basically, and where we have to define this, who defined this semicolon at the end of the line, so that we will discuss. Okay.
Okay,
And
sir.
if you want to comment your any part of the program, maybe like if you won't get this line should not execute, this is the like just simply, so you can use a comment, and for comment this is a symbol,
Doubles.
the double slash. Okay, just like I have written here header file, so this header file with the double slash is basically a comment, fine.
Yes,
And
sir.
if you're using a multi-line comment, multi-line comments are also possible. So this is a slash, then you have to put a asterisk, and at the end of this again this and slash. So we can have a single line comment and we can have a multi-line comments.
This is
Okay.
also the symbol of comment in
Yeah.
seventh line.
Yeah. This is also the symbol of commit. Basically, this we have to use if you're having a multiple lines. Suppose we are having 2 or 3 lines here, and you want to comment in a single, way like this thing. So you can use this. Otherwise, you have to put double slash for each line. So this is a time saving. The second way is time saving, right? In
Yes,
a
sir.
one stroke, you can simply have a multi-line commit. Maybe like if you're having if you want to comment maybe like 10 or 12 lines in a same instruction, so you can use this multi-line comment. So this is basically for a multi-line comment, and the first one is for a single line comment. Okay, and this is the initialization. We have just simply initialize the variable, and this is the first variable is a with the value of 4. The second variable is b with the value of 7, and this int, what this int is representing here,
Integer.
integer. And what are the other, this is basically called a data type.
Data type int, float, character.
Fine. So we are having 3 basic types of data types. One is for int, that is for integer. Second one is float, that is for, why we use float?
For decimal values.
For decimal values. And the third one is for characters, that is char. CHAR
Char.
you have to write, right? And that we will discuss अभी, just book से हम discuss करेंगे. What is this integer data type? What is float data type? What are they're having some limitations as well, and how to remove those limitations in the. These are the three very basic data types available in float and cap. Okay, and now after declaration, and if you want to add the numbers, so the sum, that is the result of the summation, that we have to again declare another variable, that is integer result. So we declared it, and this result will
Is
store
equals to A plus B.
a plus b. It will store the addition of these two numbers, and if you see, like,
Printf.
every instruction is ending by a semicolon,
Yes, sir.
right? So we are having these lines like semicolon, semicolon, and semicolon is there. Okay, now the result is stored in a plus b, that is 7 plus 4, and this value is 11. How to check the output?
Printf, by using the printf command.
Yeah, printf is there. Okay, and for
Percent.
right, yeah, this is %d and comma and result,
Yes, sir.
and again ending by a semicolon. Fine. So this is a simple program, you can say, for just
Addition of two
addition of
numbers.
two numbers. Now just simply we can compile it. For the compilation, we are having these buttons are there. So the first button, if you just simply put your cursor here, you will get this is compile, right?
Okay,
And
sir.
the shortcut key for compilation is F9. You can press F9 or you can click it. And before compilation, you have to store this file. And for storing, you can give a file name, maybe like addition. And because we are writing in C language, so you have to give the extension of the file, which is C. So addition.c is the name of the file. And if you see, this file is compiled successfully, there is no error.
So first of all, you have saved this program.
Yeah, without saving, you cannot execute it.
So from where you have saved?
See, if you just simply click this compile button,
Yes, sir.
or you can save from the file section as well. Save as, right?
Okay.
Or if you are not saving, and if you just simply compiling it without saving, the compiler will ask you, first you have to save it,
Okay.
and after saving you can compile it. The same command you can use, that F9 is there for compilation purpose. And after compilation, you can see these like 4 lines are there. Warnings is equals to 0, output file name, output file size is there, compilation time. So it is giving how much time your program taken for the compilation, 1.3 seconds. There is no warning. Maybe how the errors, there can be some errors in your program, right?
Yes, sir.
Like suppose if you miss this semicolon in the first line, integer a is equals to 4 and b is equals to 7, and where we are just simply missing this semicolon, and now if you compile it, so you will get error, right? Error.
Yes.
And you can see the error is in which line, this line number 12, and expected this comma or semicolon before end. Okay, before int means this before int से पहले यहाँ पर there should be a semicolon that we will get. Okay, and if you put the semicolon here means once you compile your program, there can be some errors in your program, there can be some warnings, so we don't take care of the warnings. We have to just simply remove the errors to get the output. Now again you can compile it, so there is no error now. And for the run, the next step is you have to run it, and for the run, the next button is there, and there will be a black screen. The output should display on this screen as well.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so after running, you can see the output is 11.
So why it was not displaying before?
Maybe some time issue. Maybe like, so this is like it's taking time, something like 0.33 seconds in running. So maybe some reasons. So now it is output is
11.
11. If you want, you can write your printf statement like this.
Yes.
Result is equals to, okay, and if you run it now, so you will get result is equals to 11.
11.
Fine. And maybe like if you want to make some more changes, okay, if you want, like you can do one more thing, you can directly write a plus b here.
Yes, sir.
See the same output, right? 11. Okay, now let's discuss about this header file, the first line of the program, that is the first header file, that is standard input output. See, from the name it is clear, this input and output. In your program, wherever you are using a input function and output function, you know, this printf function is basically known as output function.
Because it gives output.
Yeah. Even you can use printf statement just to print, just to give the output some message if you want to print. Suppose hello world, and if you now again execute it, so it will give the output, and like it should be and with a semicolon. So we have to put a semicolon at the end of this. Now if you run it, so we are getting hello world, and in the same line we are getting result is equals to 11, right?
Yes, sir.
Now what if you want, in the first line you want like output in this way, like hello world in the first line, and the second line you must have the result. For the new line, what should we do?
\n.
Yeah, there is a character, there is a command basically that is called /n, \n. You can use it, and if you use it, you will get the output in
Next
two
line.
lines.
Yeah, 2 lines.
Yeah. So hello world in the first line, and the second line we are having the result is equals to 11. So basically this function is called as output function because it is giving the outputs. So the standard input output file, it's not containing the whole program like you were saying before. It is only containing the input and output functions. Input and output functions, right?
Yes, sir. But it is also containing the main function.
No, it's not containing the main function. No. Okay. Now how to check? How to check? Right. See, if you want to check this main function is defined in header file standard input output.h or not. So what you can do is, if you take it this header file in a commit, now we are not including it, right? And
Yes, sir.
if we run the code, we are not including this header file, and if you are running this code, we are getting, see, there is no error.
No.
But the warning is, if you see the warning, incompatible implicit declaration of built-in function printf, right? We are getting this, it is incompatible implicit declaration of built-in function printf. Like we are using this printf function and we are not including this header file because the thing is actually this compiler is very latest. Okay, so the thing is this header file is by default, if you are not including it, it is present here. Fine.
Yes, sir. It is basically showing the error that why we have used printf without using header file.
Yeah. And see, there is no warning for the main function. The only warning is for printf function. Okay.
Okay. And sir, tell me something about like input function as well.
Yeah, that we will discuss. So the second header file, if you don't use it, there will be no harmful. You can, this is an extra line, you can say if you don't use it, there will be no warning, no error. Because we are not using any function which is defined in Conio.h. We are not using any function at present. When we will use that function, we have to include it. Okay. So see, any question if you have?
Input function.
Yeah, with that I am coming. Apart from that input function, any question?
No, sir.
No. So why we need input function first? Like in this program for the addition of two numbers, what we have did is like
Scanf
basically.
is an input function.
Sorry.
Scanf.
Yeah, it's scanf, right?
That is an input function, right?
That is an input function.
Okay.
Yeah. So in this program, what we have done is basically we declared the value of A and B initially, right? And they are fixed. Like we are saying A is equals to 4 and B is equals to 7. Nothing about note. Like if you want to store some other value for A, you cannot change it at runtime. Okay. Like if you want to add 5 and 7, then you have to modify it here every time. If you want to add another two numbers, you have to modify it here in your program itself. Now, if you want like something like your program should take the inputs from the user. Okay, you want that your program should take the input from the user, so that in that you have to use the input function, and the input function that is available is scanf. So this is the input function, and how to write this? We need two numbers from the user. So this is %d, and comma %a, and %b. Okay, why we are using this %d symbol here?
Because we have declared
integers. So for the integers number, you have to use this symbol %d. D is for treating it as like integer, because it is already defined. When someone like Dennis Ritchie, who generated the C language, when he defined the scanf function of the printf function, it is already defined that %d is for integers. Okay, he used this semicolon just to declare this is the end of the line.
Yes,
he declared that int is for integer. He's not like written like integer completely. Just int is for integer. Means if compiler is getting some integer int, if some word int is written, so it is by default integer. So there are some keywords you can say which is predefined, which is like predefined, that is reserved for the compiler. You cannot use those keywords like in the variable declaration or something that we will discuss. What are the reserved keywords? What are the keywords that we will discuss after this? Scanf. Okay, so scanf function is basically it is used as input function. It is predefined. Where it is defined? In the header file.
Because input function.
Yeah, because it is an input function. Now, if you compile this one, so first we should compile it. So there is no warning. It is there is no warning, no error you can say. And if you run it, first time it is taking maybe.
So कोई perfect compiler नहीं है. मैं online compiler, I was using online compiler, उसमें भी ऐसे ही होता था. Program is online compiler. First of all, it should ask for the values.
Okay, it is asking basically we have to put the 5 and 8. Okay, 7 and 8. So you are getting the outputs like the hello world is the first line, which is printing like by default. We have used printf for this, and result is 15. Here the value of A that is stored in A, that is the first value, which is 7. And in the second variable B, the value stored is 8, and we are getting the addition as 15.
15, result as 15.
Yeah. Now, if you just simply modify it, printf, we want the user should get a message. So enter the values of A and B. So what will happen basically if you run this, now this time user will get a message to enter the values of A and B. Yeah, enter the values of A and B. Now user have to enter two values, one is for A, second one is for B. So we are getting this 9 plus 6 as 15, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is, so scanf is basically used for input function and this printf is used for output function. So these functions are defined, like how compiler knows what scanf will do. So these functions are defined already in standard input output header file. So whenever you are writing a program in C language, you should have this practice. If you're using a printf and scanf function especially, you should include this header file first. And after that you have to write your main function. So this is the line. Main function is actually the function from where the execution will start.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and after that there should be curly brackets. In curly brackets you have to write your command, which command you want to give to the compiler. That command is in the form of instruction, which is, you know, like having a predefined format that you have to use, like in scanf and in printf. If you check the differences in scanf function, you have to use this ampersand. You have to write like this: ampersand A, ampersand B. Okay, and for the printf function, just while printing, there is no need to use ampersand with the printf. You just simply write the variable name.
Yes, sir.
Fine. And how to declare a variable? This is the declaration. Like integer variable, we are declaring A is equals to 4 and B is equals to 7. And this result variable, which will store the result, and you will get the output. Now, if we declare the variable, suppose like float.
Yes.
Float C is equals to, suppose 3.14. We are declaring it, and suppose there is, if you want to calculate the area of a circle with a value of radius as 4. This is R. Okay, so we declared the radius of the circle as 4, and this is the value of pi, which is 3.14. Now we want to calculate the area of circle. So this is a program you can write here just to calculate the area of circle, and the radius is 4, and the value of this 3.14, this is the value of pi, and this will store the area.
So float variable. Sorry, data type.
Okay, yes, that we will discuss. Just wait. So area can be float here or area can be int. So what will be the difference? Suppose if you take area 2 and area 1. If you are declaring this area 2 and area 1. So check करते हैं what will be the difference in between if you calculate area 1 is equals to, so what is the area of a circle?
Pi r square.
Pi r square. So pi is 3.14. You can put C here, and r square is r into r, and
Yes.
ended by a semicolon. In the same way we calculated area 2 again. This is C multiplied by radius is same, r into r. And if you check the results, what will be the output? So these are the combined. Let it be combined point. This is again, okay, here we will put the outputs. So area 1, and the next line, area 2. See, so what should happen basically? Is there any error in this? What do you think?
Sir?
What will happen? Like if you print the value of area 1 and area 2?
So in case of area 1, there will be error because we are declaring area 1 in integer data type and we have declared C as 3.14 in float variable.
Okay. So
And
there will
in case
be
of area 2, it will be okay.
fine. So before executing this, before compiling this, let's come to this PDF file again. Is it visible to you, that PDF that I
Yes.
opened? Let us see. Yeah,
Yes.
just wait. So here you can see, I will share this book with you. Maybe you are having already.
Yes.
This rules how to declare an integer constant. ये सब इसमें mentioned है already, है ना? These are the way this integer can be positive, integer can be negative. If there is a real constant with a floating point number, so how to declare it? There are two ways to declare a floating point number that you can read it. Characters easily we can declare, but how to deal with these numbers? When we are dealing with these numbers, like we declared the integer number, we declared the float number. So this yeah, just see these operations. In this figure 1.7, see the first operation, arithmetic instruction, it is written, and k is equals to 2 divided by 9, and the output we are getting is 0.
0.
Here in the same line, if you see the next column, that is a is equals to 2 upon 9, the output we are getting is 0 upon, that is 0.0. Okay. In the next line, if you check, this is 2.0 divided by 9. Again, we are getting 0. Here 2.0 divided by 9, we are getting 0.222. So why it is happening basically? Sometimes we are getting 0 and sometimes we are getting 0.222.
It is because sometimes we have declared k as integer and sometimes we have declared k as float.
Yeah, but there is no error, right?
Yes, sir.
So there will be no error if we are simply dividing or taking any operation between a float number and integer number. There will not be any error, but you will get the outputs as per the declaration of the output. If k is declared as int, you will get integer outputs.
Okay, but we will not get any error.
No error will be there. Fine. If you declare this a as float, you will get floating point numbers as outputs.
Okay.
But
So
there will be no error. Yeah.
in second case, it is taking like 4 decimal values after the decimal point, and in last case, it is just taking one decimal value, 4.0, 4.5.
See, if you divide 2 upon 9, if you just perform this operation, it is
Okay.
not completely divisible, right? This is
Yes, sir.
basically 0.222222, that is depending upon the compiler again. Fine. This if
Oh,
how up to what extent that it should display the output.
yes, sir.
And in the last line, if you see 9 upon 2, 9 upon 2 is 4.5 only, right? Now come to that program. Here we are having area 1 is equals to C into R into R, area 2 is equals to C into R into R. Area 1 is declared as integer, area 2 is declared as float. We are printing, we are just simply printing the values of area 1 and area 2, so there will be no error, the first thing, right?
Yes, sir.
But you will be having the different outputs. In case of the area 1, first you will simply multiply C into R into R, whatever with the multiplication, only you will get the integer part of that as an output. Not
Yes,
the
sir.
complete, right? If suppose the output is coming maybe like here area R into R is 16, 16 into 3 if you multiply, that will be 48 point something. So in area 1 you will get 48 and in area 2 you will get the complete 48 point something जो भी इसमें आंसर आएगा.
50 and 50.24. In first case, we'll get 50, and in second case, we'll get 50.24.
Okay. Okay, right.
So I got it that it will not show any kind of error. It will just print according to the data type declaration.
Right. Okay. So
Yes.
and so this is about if you're dealing with the integers and the characters. So like you can perform a mixed operation. You can include integers. You can include floating point numbers. So there will be no error. You will get the outputs as per the data type of the output, right? And
Yes.
again, if you see this, this operation is written here: float a, b, c. Then we are having int s, and we are calculating s is equals to a multiplied by b multiplied by c. Then division with 100 plus 32 division with 4 minus 3 into 1.1. So if you want to calculate the output of this 3 lines, so what should be the order? Like the first thing is which operation we should perform first. Should it will take multiplication? Should it will take division? Or maybe the
Division.
addition or subtraction? Okay, that we have to decide. That it is already compiler knows, but how we will do that we have to just discuss about this. And while performing the operation, we need to take care of these data types. A, B, and C are of float types, and integer S is an integer. Okay, so these plus, minus, multiplication, and division. These operators are known as arithmetic operators because these operations are the operators perform arithmetic operations only. Like plus is an arithmetic operation. Similarly, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Right. So
Yes.
in this, like written as S is equals to A into B into C divided by 100 and plus 32 by 4 minus 3 into 1.1. Which operation it should perform first?
Division.
Division. Why division?
Bodmer's rule it follows.
Yeah, Bodmer's rule it follows, but actually there is some hierarchies of these operators. In compiler, it is predefined which operation it should perform first. Bodmer's rule will be there. Like in Bodmer's, what is Bodmer's basically?
Brackets of division, multiplication, addition, subtraction.
Right. So here, the preferences is like this: multiplication and division will be first, and the second preference will be given to the addition and subtraction. Okay, the highest preference that compiler will give to the operators multiplication and division. This is the first highest one, right? In the second line, second point, maybe you can say second number for the plus and subtraction. The first is for the multiplication and division, and second one is for addition and subtraction.
And if we have to choose between multiplication and division, then
Yeah.
what we are going to do first?
For that, you have to just simply follow that statement from left to right. From left to right, and whichever operator comes first, you have to perform that operation.
Okay.
Okay. Whichever operator comes first, you have to.
Like some questions related to this.
Yeah, there are some questions in the exercise. Okay. So type of the variables of the left hand side. Yeah, there are some questions related to this in the exercise that we will just simply follow it. अभी करेंगे उनको भी. Okay, so this is hierarchy of operations are given. Yeah, the first hierarchy is for the multiplication, division, and modulo operator. This is the third operator in the first hierarchy. The second hierarchy is for the addition and subtraction. The third one is for the assignment operator. Because whenever you write an equation, there will be one assignment operator as well. So this will be having the least preference, least in the hierarchy. So the first priority is for the operator multiplication, division, and this modulo operator. You know what this modulo operator does?
For division, it is for the remainder. For getting
Right.
the remainder.
It returns the remainder. Fine.
Yes.
And the addition and subtraction that we know, and the third one is the for assignment. Okay. Yeah. See this example 1.1. Determining the hierarchy of operation and evaluate the following expression. This expression is given as I is equals to 2 into 3 by 4, then 4 by 4 plus 8 minus 2 plus 5 upon 8. So basically, while calculating this, we cannot directly apply the Bodmas rule here. Fine. Because
Yes.
if you just simply compare the hierarchy of the operators, the first priority we have to give for the multiplication and division in modulo. So in this, like we are having multiplication and division, both operators are available. So what you need to do is you have to move from left to right. Fine. You have to move from left to right. Whichever operator comes first, whether it is multiplication or division, you have to perform that operation. So the first operator here is multiplication. So the first thing that you will get is 2 into 3, that is 6.
Okay.
So see, this is 6 now. We are having this 6 upon 4, then plus 4 upon 4, then plus 8 minus 2 plus 5 by 8. This line.
Okay,
Now
we are moving from left to right and we are just performing multiplication and division.
division.
Okay.
Okay. Now in the next line, if you see 6 upon 4, now because 6 is an integer, 4 is also an integer, and integer को अगर आप integer से divide करते हैं, you will get an integer number.
Yeah.
So that's why you are getting 1 plus 4 upon 4 plus 8 minus 2 plus 5 by 8. So in each line they are performing one operation. In the next line again, the next operation that we have to perform is 4 upon 4, because this division operator is having the more priority than this plus operator.
Yes, sir.
That's why this 4 upon 4 will be performed and you will get 1 again. Then plus 8 minus 2, then 5 by 8. So in the next line again, if you see, this division operator will be performed first. So 5 by 8 will be 0. Right?
Yes, sir.
Now in the next line again, the first, now up to this you can see we are having a addition operator and a minus operator. So which operator will perform first? Whichever comes first. Whichever
Yeah.
comes first. So this left hand side, if you see, this 1 plus 1 is 2, then 8 plus 2 is 10, and 10 minus 2 is 8, 8 plus 0 is 8. So we are getting 8 as an output.
Okay, sir.
Fine. See, what should be the output of this? In the example 1.2, if you can see this,
Yes, sir.
can you perform it? Just
Okay.
by taking some pen or pencil with you,
Sure, sir.
and step by step.
So just give me 2 minutes.
Yeah. And when you divide this integer with an integer, the output should be an integer number.
Okay, sir. So 7?
Yeah, correct. 7 as an output, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is like we need to take care of the Bodmas rule and plus this hierarchy of the operators. So there are, numbers of operators available in C language. These are just the
No,
arithmetic
we are not
operators.
following the Bodmas rule. We are just following the priorities, like multiplication and division on the first priority. You said no?
Yeah, right.
Are we following Bodmas rule?
Not exactly the Bodmas, but if there are some brackets in the expression, then we have to perform the operation in the bracket first.
Okay, got it.
Maybe it can be addition as well. In the bracket, if addition is written,
So first of all, we'll
first
do
we
that.
first we have to do that addition only.
Okay, sir.
Maybe there
Okay,
will
in
be
that
some
case, we'll follow the bracket one, है ना?
right. See the second last line, it is written. Unfortunately, there are no simple rules that one can follow, such as Bodmas, that tells algebra students in which order does the expression evaluate. So from the Bodmas, you can take the bracket only.
We just have to see if the bracket is there, then we'll perform that. Otherwise, we just have to perform that priority on the priority basis.
Right.
Okay, sir.
See, these examples are given there, explained each and everything. Like we are having this expression A into B plus C division with D. So what will happen? Why left to right we are moving? So it is explained everything here. This it is very basic thing. So this is
Yes.
about your first chapter. And now come to the programming part, Beck. So it is clear to you, like we are calculating the area 1 and area 2 and we are getting, there is no error in this, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now if you take some exercise, see in the exercise of the first chapter, some expressions are there to evaluate. You can take that exercise at your homework.
Okay, sir.
Okay. And some programs we will do, just wait. See these questions are given. These are
Yes.
some MCQs, right? See this, if you check for R, this Q, R and S, like this, for the expression is equals to x is equals to 4 plus 2 modulo with minus 8 12 weights. So what should be the output of this? The output of Q, like these questions are given, you can try, right?
Yes, sir.
And अगर कुछ problem आएगी then we will discuss tomorrow. And next, if you come to the programming exercise, that we have to write a C program for the following. So in this, like just we calculated the area of a circle. In the same way, we can calculate the area of rectangle.
Yes, sir.
Fine, we can calculate the volume of any, maybe any, volume of cube, cuboid. We just know if you know the formula, you will be able to apply it, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So what is the area of rectangle?
Area of rectangle, length into breadth.
Length into breadth. Similarly, you can calculate the area of maybe a triangle or whatever figure they will be asking, right? You should know the formula. If you know the formula, you will be able to do it. Similarly, not only the areas, you can calculate the perimeter, and if the shape is a 3D figure, you can calculate the volume, maybe surface area. So that is only dependent on the formula of that question, right?
Yes, sir.
So, like if you see like this D question, this is temperature of a city in Fahrenheit degree is input through the keyboard. Write a program to convert this temperature into centigrade degree. Fine. We are having the input temperature in Fahrenheit and we want to convert that input temperature into degree Celsius.
There was some formula in the lower class we have studied.
Yeah, the formula is like I will discuss with you, just wait. And see, if you do this program using printf and scanf, and we will ask the user to enter the temperature in Fahrenheit degree Celsius, Fahrenheit degree, and we will convert that temperature into degree Celsius, right? So
Yes,
the
sir.
program will be, let's take another file, and we are writing the program here. The first file that you have to include is header file, and then main function, right? See, we can write int before this main as well. In the first program, if you see, we have not written anything.
Yes, sir.
Before the main function, there was nothing, like, see here. So there are two options, or you can write void main or int main. What are the differences between these two? Why we are using int? When should we use int? When should we not use? What is the by default if you are not using anything? So what will happen? Why compiler is not giving any error? So we will discuss one by one. So here, integer, maybe the temperature, because it is a temperature, it can be in float. So we are taking this temp in Fahrenheit. So you can use F here just to maybe differentiate it. And the output, again, because it is a temperature but in degree Celsius, so we are using C. Okay, so first we have to printf, we have to use printf, and we will be asking the user to enter the temperature. So enter the temperature in Fahrenheit. Here the user will enter the temperature, and this is new line you can use. After this, we have to convert this temperature into degree Celsius. See, the formula for this conversion is it is like basically C upon 5 is equals to F minus 32 divided by 9.
Okay.
Okay, this is the formula, so we have to write this formula in programming form. We cannot write like this because we have to find the value of C. So from this mathematical formula, C upon 5 is equals to F minus 32 upon 9. If you calculate the value of C, C will be is equals to
F minus 32 divided by 9 and also 5.
so F
5 is
minus
also divided to the right hand side.
so this now this F will be
45
replaced.
divided by 45.
F will be replaced by temp F minus 32 divided by
45.
9. 45.
No, it is division. It will be divide 1 second. Divided by 9 multiplied by 5.
Multiplied by 5. Right. So we have to balance this expression as well. So the use of this brackets you can see here, because now the board mass, the bracket, if you check, the first operation will be this bracket. First operation that compiler will perform is he have to simply this bracket will be simplified first, then the division by 9, and whatever you will get, you will multiply that by 5. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And so these are the variables. Then printf statement is there, enter the temperature in Fahrenheit. This is the converted temperature in, so you have to write temp C. Now we have to print this temperature. So printf so temperature in degree Celsius is percent F because it is float, and temp C. This is temp C. Fine.
Yes,
And
sir.
because we have written int here before the main function, so this function, this int is representing the return
Integer.
type. Yeah, it is representing what will this function will return.
Integer value.
So integer value, so we can write return
0.
0. Or even we can return anything, not only 0, we can return any like 1, 2, 3, it should be an integer number. Okay, it should be an integer number. Now when this function will return this 0 or 1 or maybe some number, what will happen to that number? What will happen to that 0 in this program? That we will discuss जब हम यहाँ function के बारे में study करेंगे, तो हम ये सब study करेंगे कि कब return करना है और क्या return करना है. Even you can write void here. Void means function is not returning anything, so in that point you will not return anything.
So, लेकिन जैसे आपने अभी बोला that we have to, if whether we have to return 0, 1, 2, that we will discuss, because I don't know what to return, right?
Yeah, that we will discuss. Fine.
Okay.
Yes.
For now, we are just returning 0. You'll be explaining this afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So float variable is there. Second type of variable, that is temperature C, temperature F. Both are in float. Enter the temperature in F. Temperature C, it is calculating and it is printing the value of C. Okay. So now if you execute this, first we have to save it. So maybe temperature conversion, we can write .c, save. So it is compiled.
It is asking for the value, I guess.
Temperature in C is equal to this. What is happening? Enter the temperature. Okay, we have not taken the we have not used scanf function, right?
Oh, yeah.
So
Percentage.
here percent F, because we are
Huh.
using
F.
an M percent temp F. So enter the temperature in F. So maybe if you're entering, like suppose 18.5, whatever. So it is calculating the temperature in C is minus 7.5. So that is the mathematical formula. If you simply put 18.5 here, so you will get the output in minus, negative, है ना? Because 18.5 minus 32 will be a negative number. Divided by
Yes.
9 it's negative, and multiply 5 by is again negative. So we are getting this output as minus 7.5. Right?
Yes, sir.
So this is how to convert a temperature from one unit to another unit. Okay. And what we do is, like, if you multiply first by 5 and division by 9, this is also correct. Because if you take the priority of the operators, if you multiply first divided by 9, so there will be no problem. Because if you put this temperature F, the value, that input value minus 32, whatever you will get, that multiplied by 5 and division by 9,
No difference.
yeah, it will not make any difference, right? But see, if you write the same expression in this way, see the difference between these two. In the first expression, what is happening here is basically,
In this case, yet it will make a difference in the second case because you have put bracket in the
Right.
5 divided by 9. First of all, bracket will be solved, then it will be divided, then it will be multiplied. First bracket will be multiplied with the second bracket.
yeah. So from the first bracket, you will get the difference between the temperatures, means temperature in F minus 32, right? So you will get the difference easily. In the second bracket, if you see 5 upon 9, and 5 upon 9, here 5 is an integer number, 9 is also an integer. So what will be the output of this bracket?
0,
0. And something multiplied by 0 is
0.
So every time you will get the output as 0 if you're using the second expression.
So,
But
yes.
yeah, but if you come to the mathematical terms, in mathematics both the expressions are correct.
Yes, sir.
But if you're talking about this programming terms, the second expression is not correct.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Because 5 and 9 are integers. basically.
Right. So you will get 0 always if you're using the second expression. But mathematically, the second expression is also correct.
Yes, sir.
Now, if you want to make the second expression as correct one, so what should you do?
So then we should take float values.
Float values. So you can write 5.0 here
Yeah, and 9.0.
or 9.0. Now, if you put 5.0 or 9.0 in this, then you will get a floating point number here. It will not be 0 now, and that number will be multiplied by temperature F minus 32. You will get the output. Right?
Yes.
Now both the expressions are correct and you will get the same output. So this is like कहने का मतलब ये हुआ कि while writing the programs you need to be very careful, like what type of variable you are using, what type of variable which you are dealing with. The data types are important. Fine.
Yes, sir.
So this was the program to convert the temperature from one to another. In the next program, if you see, the length and the breadth of a rectangle and the radius of circle are input through the keyboard. Write a program to calculate the area and perimeter of the rectangle and the area and circumference of the circle. So this easily we can do, right?
Yes, sir. I can do this.
Yeah. So length and the breadth of the rectangle is given, the radius of circle is given, and radius is given. We have to write a program to calculate the area and perimeter of a rectangle and the area and circumference of the circle. Yes, we can do it easily. And before this, if we check the second one, this B, the distance between two cities is input through the keyboard. Write a program to convert and print this distance in meters, feet, inches, and centimeters. Like the distance between two cities is given in kilometers.
We'll use the conversions.
Conversion, right? In 1 kilometers, the number of meters like we are having, that we can simply multiply. Then how to convert from kilometers to feet, to inches, to centimeters. In the next program, it is given that if the marks obtained by a student in 5 different subjects are input through the keyboard, find out the aggregate marks and the percentage marks obtained by the student. Assume that the maximum marks that can be obtained by a student in each subject is 100. Okay, so here 5 subjects marks of a students are given, that will be entered by a keyboard, means you have to use the scanf statement here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and once you get the marks of 5 subjects of a student, now you need to find out the aggregate marks. Aggregate marks means
Total marks.
total marks. Okay, then you need to find out the percentage marks.
We'll declare an integer type like C we have declared, like या फिर AGG declare कर देंगे, and in that case, in that it will store the total marks, and all for the percentage case also it will store the percentage in that way.
Yeah. So to calculate the percentage, what you have to do is
Total divided by नहीं मतलब total marks divided by 5,
total marks divided by 5. Why 5?
because 5 subjects are there.
Okay, fine. So total marks divided by 5, you will get the output, right?
Yes, sir.
So this one you can do. The next one is we are having this temperature conversion. The next is length and breadth, the rectangle and circle that we can easily do. 2 numbers are input through the keyboard to location C and D. Write a program to interchange the content of C and D. Yeah, this is important. This is also known as to swap the numbers. If you want to swap 2 numbers, so you need to write a program for this. How to swap? You know how to swap numbers?
To swap it. Sir, I guess we'll take the third variable, and first of all you just do this one. We'll do this one.
Yeah. So take the another program here, just swapping the numbers. This thing, main function is there and remove. So we are taking 2 numbers. Let it be A is equals to 5 and B is equals to 9. Now we need to swap these 2 numbers. So just like you are saying, we can use another variable, another third variable, let it be T. Okay, this is an extra variable we are using. So to swapping the numbers, what we can do is, the statement is like T is equals to A, then we can use A is equals to B, then we can use B is equals to
T. Yes, sir.
So actually what happened is, like when we are writing the first statement, T is equals to A. So what will happen if you write T is equals to A here? So the value of A will be stored in T. Fine. When we are declaring this integer T, see A is equals to 5 and B is equals to 9. For T we have not declared anything, like we just simply write T. So what will be the value of T here?
In this case it will be 5. नहीं यहाँ पर तो कुछ नहीं, नेक्स्ट केस में 5.
बट यहाँ पर अगर आप चेक करेंगे, राइट, अगर आप यहाँ पर भी चेक करेंगे तो T will be having some value, right? There will be some value will be stored in T. Okay, that is called garbage value that we will discuss, right? So yes. What is garbage value? Okay, so when we are written T is equals to A here, the value of A will be stored in T. So at this point we can say the value of T will be 5. The value of A is 5 and the value of B is 9. Now come to the next line. When we are writing A is equals to B, so at this point the value of A, what will be the value of A?
The value of A is 5.
No, A is equals to B.
Okay, 9.
Value of B is also 9.
Yes.
And the value of T?
is 5.
is 5. Come to the next line. Here the value of A is
9.
9. The value of B is
5.
5 and the value of T is
5.
5. So you can see the input is A is equals to 9 and A is equals to 5 and B is equals to 9, and in the output we are having A is equals to 9 and B is equals to 5, right? So how to swap two numbers using a third variable? So we are using a third variable here, that is T. Now we can print the values of A and B. So A is equals to %D. So you can print the value of A, and similarly B is equal to %D, and we can print the value of B. So we have to save it. See, A is equals to 9 and B is equals to 5, right?
Yes, sir. The values are interchanged.
Interchanged, and this is called swapping.
Okay.
Right? So this is a swapping if you're using a third variable T. We can swap the numbers without using third variable as well.
How?
How? So come to the next one. Again the swapping without using third variable. Like T is not allowed this time. You can remove this line, and this is also. So we are having A is equals to 5 and B is equals to 9. तो ध्यान से समझिएगा, और कुछ भी अगर लाइन में आपको प्रॉब्लम होगी तो मेरे से पूछना. तो फर्स्ट वी आर राइटिंग A is equals to A plus B, and then B is equals to A minus B, and then A is equals to. अभी देखते हैं यहाँ पर क्या आएगा. See, the first line we have written A is equals to A plus B. So here what will be the value of A?
14.
14. And what will be the value of B?
Minus 4.
Why?
In this case, 9.
In this case, it is 9. See, next is, now what will be A?
14.
14. And what is B?
Minus 4.
No, because A is 14. So 14 minus B. 14
Achha, now
minus
we
B.
can take the new value.
Yes, we have to take the updated value. That is the new value.
Okay.
Right? So here in the second line, B is equals to A minus B. A will be treated as the new value because the new value is 14. So 14 minus 9 is 5. So this will be 5. Right? So
Yes,
if
sir.
you see up to this line, the value of B is 5, which is interchanged, but A is still 14. A should be what? A should be, what should be the
9.
value of A? 9. So what should we write here to make this A as 9? A is equals to
A minus B.
A minus B, right? So A is equals to A minus B. So these three lines statement, it will swap the numbers without using third variable. So A is equals to A plus B, then A is equals to A minus B, and A is equals to A minus B. Because here you will get A is equals to, wait, see at this point, what is B here?
5.
Not 5.
Sir, 5
Yeah,
is
B
the-
is 5. B is 5. And what is A?
A is 9.
A minus B, that is 14 minus 5 is 9, right? So A is equals to A plus B, B is equals to A minus B, and A is equals to A minus B. It will swap the numbers without using third variable. You can check. This is swap 2.c. There is no error. Yeah, A is equals to 9 and B is equals to 5. We are getting out. Okay. So sometimes they will ask just to swap the numbers. So we can use any of the method. Like we can use multiplication. We can use this third variable or without using third variable. But sometimes, like in interviews, they ask write a program to swap two numbers without using third variable. Then you have to follow this.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So समझ में आया आपको? देखो ये हमने कैसे किया ना, पहले हमने
Yes.
दोनों को ऐड कर दिया, then subtraction. And once you write a instruction to the compiler, like the value of the variable will be changed. Like we have written a is equals to a plus b, so now a will take the new value, not the previous one. Previous one is obsolete. It is deleted from the memory, and we are having the a as a new value, which is 14. Same thing is happening is with b as well. Initially b is declared as 9, but after writing this operation, b is equals to a minus b, b will take the new value only, right?
Yes, sir.
And once we are printing the values of a and b, so it will print only the updated value, the latest value they are having. So we are getting a is equals to 9 and b is equals to 5. So this is how to swap the numbers. So this is f. So write a program to interchange the contents of C and D. So this is how we can change the the content of C and D. The next program is, we have a 5-digit number is input. If a 5-digit number is input through a keyboard, write a program to calculate the sum of its digits. So we have to find out the sum of digits of a 5-digit number. So maybe if the input number is suppose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the output should be the summation of all the digits, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. You should have this output, right?
Yes, sir.
तो इसको आप try करिएगा. And hint is also given, use the modulo operator. So how to use this modulo operator here? You just simply try it once. If नहीं होगा तो आप मेरे से पूछ लीजिएगा.
Okay, sir.
The next program is, okay, if a 5-digit number is input through the keyboard, write a program to reverse the number. Now we have to reverse the number. If the input number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the output should be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes, sir.
Same, this is, you can take this as your assignment. Next question is, if a 4-digit number is input through the keyboard, write a program to obtain the sum of the first and the last digit of this number. So the 4-digit number is input, and we have to find out the sum of the first and the last digit. Fine. Similarly, you can try these questions like up to m it is given. So जितना आपको टाइम मिले, अगर आपके पास बिजी नहीं है तो आप इनको ट्राई करिएगा, एंड टुमारो वी विल डिस्कस these questions only, right?
Okay, sir.
Okay. So this is about today's class. If you have any doubt, if you want to ask anything, so we will be starting we are starting from very basic. This is the basic one only, right? And if you want to write a big size of program, like if you want to make any software, maybe like so that to that extent we will go.
Okay, sir.
Fine. But at the end of this classes, you will be able to write like big size program as well. Like suppose if you want to write a program for library management system, maybe school management system, in which you will be entering the data of all the students, how to enter the attendance using the program that we will do. Hospital management system that we will do, right?
Yes, sir.
And see, after this, you can write a program for the calculator operation. See, calculator, we can have addition. In the calculator, we can have subtraction. In the calculator, we are having, multiplication and division, and there are multiple operations. So just similarly, like we have written the program for addition, same way you can write a program for the subtraction, for the multiplication, for the division, everything, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So this is about today's class. This was your demo class, free of cost. There is no charges. But for tomorrow, if you continue, there will be a charge class-wise.
Yes, sir.
And if you want, you can settle it down like monthly basis for 1 month, or maybe for the complete C course, or maybe class-wise. So you can discuss with your parents.
So
Okay.
for complete C, how much you will charge?
For the complete C, the charge will be 4,000 rupees.
And it will take how much time? Like 1 month or 1.5 months?
not more than 1.5 months. Within 1.5 months, I will finish it.
And you'll be giving how much days, like the class will be held in how much days a week?
That can be 5 days or 6 days. That is up to me because I have to finish the complete syllabus, right?
Or in this case, like I will not suffer any kind of problem, ना? मतलब
No, no,
ऐसे
no,
तो
no.
नहीं होगा
No,
कि
no, no,
पर
no.
और सर अगर in the second case, like day wise, if I want to continue, then in that case, how much you'll
Then you have
charge?
to pay 200 rupees for 1 day, for one class.
And in this case, it is up to me that
Yeah,
I have to do
yeah,
five
yeah, yeah.
days of
Or maybe
this.
4 days or 6 days or 7 days.
Okay, and in the second case, it is up to you.
Right.
Okay. For complete C, you are charging 4,000, and in the second case, you are charging like you cannot like take 150 rupees like for one lecture.
150 rupees for one lecture. Okay,
You said
if you simply if you calculate the total amount.
it would be like for 200, it would be 5,000 something.
So better if you pay the whole class fees, 4,000 rupees.
Yes, sir.
That is much better, na?
Yes,
Right?
sir.
And if you take 150 rupees for one class, suppose, okay, and in week if you take 5 classes,
Yes,
and
sir.
per month it will be 20 classes. Fine.
Yes, sir.
And if you calculate 150 into 20, so it will be 3,000 rupees.
3,000.
But in 3,000 in that 1 month, because we are taking only 5 class per a week, maybe syllabus will not be finished. So it is, it is more or less. If you are
Same.
taking 4,000 rupees for the complete syllabus, if you calculate it ना, so it will be same 150 rupees ही आएगा अगर आप इसको चेक करेंगे ना.
सर 4,000 वाला तो मैं डिस्कस कर लूंगी. आई डिस्कस विद माय पेरेंट्स, बट
Right.
स्टिल अगर 4,000 वाला ही है तो मतलब मेरे को आप पूरा एडवांस लेवल तक यूल बी टीचिंग मी टू द एडवांस लेवल, मतलब मुझे पूरे अच्छे से सी आ जाएगी ना.
हाँ, मतलब आप जब बोलोगे सर मैं सी सीख ली है, मुझे सी आ गई है, मुझे और नहीं करना है, तो हम उसको फिनिश कर देंगे. राइट.
मतलब आपने जैसे बोला ना एंड तक बिल्कुल लाइक
हाँ.
कुछ रह नहीं जाना चाहिए.
बिल्कुल कुछ नहीं रहेगा.
एडवांस लेवल प्रॉपर वाला है ना.
प्रॉपर. राइट.
चलो ठीक है, आई विल डिस्कस विद माय पेरेंट्स. एंड इफ यू आर लाइक आप 150 के लिए भी रेडी हो ना लाइक.
150 के लिए भी रेडी है.
ओके सर. सो आई और टुमारो का लाइक कल का टाइमिंग सर 11 o'clock. So I am having my college class.
Okay. So what time you will be free after college?
12. एक ही क्लास है सर इंग्लिश की. 12.
Okay. By 12 you will be free.
यस सर.
We
12
can
12:15 पे आप क्लास रख दो.
Okay. I will update you. I will message you. Right. Maybe
Okay,
we
11
can
to
have a
12
class in the
कुछ
evening. In the evening if you are free.
इवनिंग में नहीं हो पाएगा बिकॉज माई सिस्टर नीड्स लैपटॉप. नो इन द मॉर्निंग ही हो पाएगा सर.
Okay. Morning ही हो पाएगा. तो क्लास कितने बजे शुरू होगी आपकी?
बस 11 to 12 को छोड़ दो, चाहे आप 9 मॉर्निंग में ले लो, 9 to 11 ले लो, मतलब 1 hour की है तो 10 to 11 ले लो. इट्स
Okay.
अप टू
Okay.
यू.
Okay. So tomorrow we can have a class at 10 to 11 we will do it.
ओके 10 to 11. या
10 to
दैट्स
11.
फाइन.
Fine.
यस सर.
And the one more thing is you have to pay this fees in advance.
ओके सर.
Okay. Means maybe tomorrow, day after tomorrow you have to pay the fees.
ओके I'll pay within 2 or 3 days
Yeah.
maximum.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
चलो सर. थैंक यू सर.